Yeah, like that, right?
Yeah. Like that, DK.
What is the origin of this thing? I've never asked. I just kind of presume that it's just, some authentic thing that shows up.
Well, no, the hump day side of it. Oh man, it's because the commercial that was on TV. It was one of the insurance commercials, man, and it was a camel walking through. Guess what day it is? Hump day. And I'm gonna be honest, it became a thing inside of our locker room also, to where we, meetings usually start on Wednesdays for the new game week. So that would be one of the things that we say in the team meeting room, like. It's interesting. I think people think like all NFL clubs are just by the book, soldiers. And we are soldiers in the sense of what we're asked to do. But there's a lot of looseness to it too, right, DK? How you got to operate sometimes, man. So we used to just holler out on Wednesday is hump day just to get it going.
Yeah, there is some of that. There's some of that looseness. But at the same time, I got to say the one day at the Steelers facility that's probably the most let's get down to business is and always has been Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday's the hard reset, man. And truthfully, I feel like now in my second career, Wednesday is the hard reset because I'm like, just get me to the weekend, man. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way too, but Wednesday is the get over day. Okay, Reginald from Bartlett 10, West 10. All right, I see you checking in with us. Shout out to everybody that's listening to us right now, man. But Wednesday is the get over day for a lot of people.
Oh boy, we have so many comments pouring in here. We try as much as we can to move them through. If you're new to this process, and we hope that we have new people coming in all the time, and I hope those of you who've been with us kind of bear with it when we tell them that the way to participate is to do this on YouTube Live. There's also a Facebook mechanism. You just go there and you comment. But, man, we don't have much on Facebook. Almost everybody seems to prefer YouTube Live for our show, which is fine. We'll go wherever you are.
I want to go here first. Where did it go? Give me 1 second. I just saw it in the comments, DK. Mm-hmm. It was a question. Yes, right here. You ready for it? What's up, hand over fist? Hand over fist. All right, I get it. I'm here for it. Is this, DK? It's from my guy, Douglas Meek. I think this is a good starting point if you're okay with this one.
Let's do it.
Let's do it because it's the offseason.
It's the Doug Show.
Yeah, it's the Doug Show right now. And this is a very serious question as we kind of go through this process with Kenny.
That's tough, man.
It is tough. But Douglas goes, hey, Moan, ... Wait a little bit. Okay. What happens, though, if Kenny doesn't end up being the guy? Where do we go from there?
All right.
Go ahead.
Doug, we saw O'Neal Cruz go down to a serious injury this week. We just saw the Penguins last night probably get eliminated from the playoffs for the first time in 17 years. And you want to come at us with this? You're coming at us with, what if Kenny isn't the guy? What else? Is there anvils falling from the sky? What else we got?
No doubt about it. I thought it was unique to put that one up there, though, DK, because last year, let's go with this draft, right? The prospects as they stood was, and everybody was high on this guy, Malik Willis, 3rd round. Kenny Pickett ended up being the only first rounder out of all of those guys. Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, 3rd round. Sam Howell may have a shot with the Commanders. Matt Corral, I think 4th or 5th round to the Panthers. Bailey Zappi, I forget which round he was, to the Patriots. Brock Purdy ended up being Mr. Irrelevant. He turned into something, we think, but Trey Lance is still in San Francisco, and Skylar Thompson was a kid that went to ended up going to the Dolphins, and I don't think he has a shot of playing. All right, let's just go there. The quarterback position is a dice roll. It just is what it is. If Kenny Pickett isn't the guy, you know what you do? You find another guy, or you find a holdover dude. But let's say this, though. What do you trust more?
Routine,
I know, but in today's NFL,
it took them 2 years to do this.
In today's NFL, though, DK, this is what it is, because everybody's looking for unrealistic expectation of what Joe Burrow did, what Jalen Hurts did. And Josh Allen hadn't even made it that far yet. So what are you actually looking for if a guy like Kenny Pickett does not make it? Like, you're looking at a process is what we're looking at. And all those dudes I named in last year's draft class, okay, were supposed to be franchise-saving dudes. And only one ended up being a multi-game starter except for Malik and Ritter a little bit towards the end of the season. But I'll say this. I hate to say this type of thing, but you got to sometimes trust the process of development when you're dealing with an organization like Pittsburgh that understands, look, it may take a year or two. Does he have to take a big leap in year two? Heck, yes, he does. But this isn't I hope it is, but this isn't an MVP type of situation where this guy's just going to come out guns a-blazing. It's somewhat of a process. And look at Ben's earlier parts of his career. He had what on his side, DK?
Oh, he had that defense. He also had a lot of support on the offensive side. He had Jerome,
So we can throw the what ifs at Kenny Pickett.
I'm not. I'm not taking the bait, Moan.
Okay.
I respect that you did, and you took the question on.
I did.
Politely, but here's the thing: for Kenny to not make it, okay, let's take that as the hypothetical. For Kenny to not make it, more than anything, he'd have to mentally crumble. Am I right about that? More than anything. Because, look, you're going to get injuries. You're going to get banged up. Okay, maybe, the couple of concussions that he's had could come. That's a more realistic, to me, conversation.
There we go.
But if you're familiar with anything at all about Kenny Pickett's background, whether it's at Pitt, whether it's even before that, or what you've seen in the National Football League now with your own eyes, if you think this player is going to just go, oh, no, I'm terrible one day, you're out of your mind.
I know.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. I'm sorry, Moan.
Go ahead. You got the floor, dog.
Do yourself a favor. Look into, and this stuff is available on the Steelers website, on their official website, because they have access that we don't, okay, this time of year. We're not allowed over there. There are interviews. There's video footages of the work that he's doing, of the commitment that he's showing. It is not normal. You can roll your eyes at it and say, oh, everybody says that. Everybody does that. Okay. It's not the case. Yeah. This kid is something special in this regard. A lot of things could happen to Kenny. He will not fall apart.
Yeah, I can't see that happening either. And what's also happened this offseason more than anything, last season and this one, they went and got him protection. The weapons are there, and I will say this, the subtraction of Chase Claypool may be the most beneficial aspect of his development than anything else. And that ain't a punch or a push at Chase Claypool. It was the idea of simplifying where and how I need to operate as a quarterback. I did think there was too many cooks in the kitchen when it came down to Deontay wanting the ball. Chase was an older guy, so he needed the ball. Pat needs the ball in his hand. And then you had a young fly guy like George Pickens come in and won the ball too. DK, for a young guy, and you know this too, that's a lot of pressure for a quarterback, a young quarterback who's trying to develop in today's NFL.
Yeah, and he doesn't just, what's the Tomlin line about put your face in the fan?
Stick your face in the fan. Yeah.
We don't run from it.
Cut your eyelids off.
We don't run from it. We run to it. We run to adversity. Okay. That's what this player is.
Yeah.
There's a reason those guys were dancing on air when he fell to them here. I like this one here, Moan.
Yeah.
From Lencho. He says, and pardon his English here. He's sending us something from Panama. He says, "Hey, Moan." I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Can OBJ on Baltimore make their wide receiving core better? Meaning Deontay. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
Saludos from Panama. Can OBJ make them better?
Yeah, I thought I had it at a glance, and then I don't get it exactly.
Or will it be Deontay? OBJ is polarizing a little bit because the play is there. I'll say this as of late. The play is there. But if I'm not mistaken, in his career in the NFL, as far as Odell Beckham Jr. goes, he may have had maybe one, maybe two healthy full seasons. And I don't think they're much better at us at wide receiver. I think he's a weapon. I think more than anything, from what we'll have to see with him from his ACL, you have to have eyes on him because he is the name. I think, to me, and we said this the other day, that was more than anything a sales pitch to Lamar. Like, look, Lamar, we're trying to get you weapons, but we need you to commit to us also. That's what that signing was to me.
When we come back, with all due respect to the segment that just passed, the only segment that matters.
That's all of Hey Moan.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
And we are back live.
Yeah.
How many weeks is this we've been doing this live now?
We're about a month in now, a little bit more maybe.
In? Yeah, something like that.
If I'm not mistaken, we're about 20 episodes away from 300, man.
Yeah, we're getting close on 300, but we've only been doing it live for about a month. And I got to tell you, it feels like it's just a totally different experience. Like, I don't even remember what the other one was like. Like, if we had to do it the old way.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be all thrown off. You know what I'm saying?
But I'll say this. The NFL is a monster, and I can say that with respect with how they go about positioning themselves in the offseason. So we had, Super Bowl? We have the Senior Bowl, NFL affiliated. East-West Shrine is also in there. I got to name them because I was a part of it. And then we go from where? The Combine.
And then
Pro Days.
The annual meeting.
Which
always produces news. And this portion of the Ramon Foster Show is brought to you always by the Get Go Cafe and Market, where quality is at the core of every menu item. There's not one expert chef, Moan. There aren't two. Yeah, I believe that it's three who fine-tune every detail so that every sub, burger, salad, wrap, drink, and app is crafted for craveability. I could turn that into a rap if I wasn't me. If I wasn't me. And I don't mean rap, W-R-A-P. I'm talking about R-A-P. Order your favorite entry at the Get Go Cafe and Market today. Better believe it. I'm not going to rap.
I was going to call you Run DKPS.
Oh, no.
Run DK Pittsburgh Sports. Is that your new name?
Oh, no, it most definitely is not here. Renee gets us going here with, hey, Moan, hey, DK, what are your thoughts on the Steelers releasing Jameer Jones? That's something that happened today. He was an outside linebacker who was one of those training camp guys that you end up not really seeing all that much of in the regular season. For me, it went in one ear and out the other. What about you, Moan?
Same thing, man.
Not to be mean.
DK, again, we went through screw that. We went through my timeline of how I became a starter in this league, how I earned it. It's a business at the end of the day. I hate guys lose their jobs, but if you're getting cut this time of the season, is one of two things. There's either a better option out there, or you have something coming down the pipeline, i.e. suspension, or maybe just they find a better prospect. You don't get cut when you need bodies and off-season workouts and OTAs and minicamp, right, DK? I've seen some, and I'll say this, some bad dudes be signed in OTAs and be like, yeah, I know he's getting cut first cuts. But they make it through OTAs in the offseason, though, DK. So hopefully, for his sake, he still gets on since it's so early in the offseason.
Leo wants you to bring Chef number 3 on.
You
do get kind of stuck with Chef number 3 in that read, don't you?
I do. I like the fact that it's 3 chefs. You know, it's always too many cooks in the kitchen, but in this case, the third one's just right in this one, okay?
3 is just right.
3 is just right.
What's the British baking show called? I think it's just called the British Baking Show.
Is it? I never heard of that one.
They have like 6. Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay.
It's one of those you got to have you pay for the something. I don't know. My family watches it, and I walk in, and there's all these British people cooking in like a contest, and there's this one young dude who looks like Ozzy Osbourne. He doesn't hide over it. Why are we talking about that?
Yeah, I know. It's all good, man. I'm here for it.
Just ridiculous. Reginald says, hey, Moan, do you think any more players get cut before the draft? Meaning, I guess, in the spirit that Jameer did.
I don't think there'll be any surprise cuts, like a veteran get released or something like that. This team, being real with you, is British Bake Off. This team, I believe, for the most part, is set as far as what they're planning to go into camp with, without the additions of like the rookies and undrafted free agents and stuff like that. It's a pretty solid group so far with depth involved too. So I'm okay with where they are. I don't think there will be any surprise cuts.
Robert says they dropped Jones because Bud wants his number back. Hey, I got news for you, Robert. If they just wanted to give Bud 48, they would give him 48. You don't have to cut the player.
Hey, see, this is how conspiracy theories this is how they start. Rob Baxter, they start in your mind on the computer keyboard right here with us on the Ramon Foster Show.
No.
If we wanted to read into it, boy, that would be crazy.
Brian's moving to Tennessee next week. He says, Moan, how do I watch all of the Steelers games there?
I'll tell you what, if you're streaming us on YouTube right now, the Sunday ticket is coming there. That was announced the other day. I'm hoping they bring their price down a little bit, but me personally, I'll be getting the Sunday ticket because here in the Nashville area, we do get more Titans primary games and whatnot, but I'm getting a Sunday ticket probably on YouTube because I didn't have DirecTV.
Yeah, I saw it. I guess there were some stories about the YouTube Sunday ticket and how it was supposed to be like
the other day. That's
supposed to be crazy expensive or something like that.
Yeah, it's about $350-ish, DK.
Yeah, but you get to watch everything?
You get to watch everything, and I don't think there's a blackout aspect to it because Sunday ticket was blackout related depending on the area you were in.
When are these people going to figure out that
I gotta watch
the blackouts, if you lift the blackouts, you can charge whatever you want. People, stop overthinking this. Mary and Mike say, hey, Brother Moan, can you guys compare Kenny to the rest of the quarterbacks coming out of the draft this year? I think that's a fairer way of bringing that up than saying, would Kenny be a first-round pick in this class, which is the one that drives me nuts.
In my opinion, he will be in this top 3 discussion this year. I personally do believe that had really good tape coming out of his senior year. His biggest question is going to be he had the one hot year, right? Let's just go back to the senior. He had that really good hot senior year as far as that stood. With that being said, I like Anthony Richardson, don't love him. Will Levis, seen a lot of him, and I felt like he played down at times. I love Hendon Hooker, but he's injured right now. I'm looking at Bryce Young, Caleb, and also Kenny will be top 3 in that one.
Hodge says here $249 with a YouTube TV subscription, but that's kind of what's the YouTube TV subscription cost? Because if you're getting that for the NFL, that's actually your total price.
Yeah, you probably end up about $350 still. My brother-in-law got YouTube TV, and I think he's right at about $100 anyway.
So, Al says, hey, Moan, we just look at him and know he can still play. Will we see Mel Blount finally make his return to the Steelers defensive backfield? Have you ever seen anybody like this?
Just a phenom, y'all.
Like, you just look at him and you just go, what the heck? Like,
you know what?
There's no way this guy couldn't just suit up and play. Didn't he just have a birthday or something?
I'm not sure on that one exactly, but I'll tell you this. Some people just born with it.
Oh, yeah, he did. He's 75. He just turned 75 2 days ago. Yeah. Happy birthday to the king.
Yeah, man.
King.
Just a legend. Could he do it? He give you one back pedal. That'd be about all, okay?
You know that phrase? He changed the game. He changed the game.
He did,
He said, I don't have to cover you. I'm going to kill you.
And he did.
I could do both, as a matter of fact.
He did. And everybody's searching for that one. That's why a guy like Richard Sherman was so good, man. He big DB that could cover and just blanket the entire side of the field. Yeah, but I hope we get one of those in the draft this year, TK.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, they wouldn't be allowed to do that, but
Game Pass. I see that one. I'm not even gonna mess up your name, Theo. Theo.
I don't think Game Pass is blackout free.
It's not, and I have Game Pass. I can watch the game and the all 22 afterwards, but I like to see it live. And I hate waiting for it, going on social media and seeing you guys tweet about Steeler games. If this YouTube Sunday ticket is around, then I'm going that route instead of the NFL route, man. I didn't like that one last year.
Oh, we have a really good one here from Chase who says, hey, Moan, I am sold on Brian Branch. Can we have 2 playmaking safeties for once? I love T.E. Terrell Edmonds, but he was a dirty work guy. That's a compliment, I'm presuming, here for T.E. Yeah. That's a good football player, okay? 2 playmaking safeties for once. 2 playmaking safeties anywhere in football is rare. Let's start with that. And when you have Minkah, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to jump the
go ahead
thing here, but when you have Minkah is set up. You have to understand this. by the head coach, by the defensive coordinator to be the free agent out there.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
what's
blanket.
the word I'm looking for?
He's supposed to be the blanket.
He's the guy. They want him freewheeling. They want him to have the Troy rights.
Yep.
Okay, where you just you just feel the game, dude. We want you to find the football. Don't worry about other crap.
Yeah, no.
Okay?
No.
Now, if you have two of those,
I mean,
how
do you stop one from being a playmaker? That's what you're saying right there, right? Like, how am I supposed to cover for you when I'm the playmaker on the back end? Like that's the issue for him. I saw he asked this question earlier too. Minka standing on the table for Jalen Hurts. I love how this stuff come about. I doubt that was the case because Pittsburgh probably wasn't necessarily looking for that. If he did, good for him. But Brian Branch is a really good safety. But I just don't know if you're going to go that route with the guy, like you said, Minka, that's the equal type of playmaker for a dude like himself.
Now, Kawhi comes in and says that Kenny Pickett needs to do a pump fake and move the camera. Now, I get what he's saying there, but isn't this the one situation where the size of the hands comes into play? No, I'm being serious here. I'm not taking a shot.
I doubt that, man. I don't think it. No, absolutely not. Because you can do it with two hands this way too. Like the pump fake. Sometimes it's just that, and it's just that. It's not necessarily a full-fledged pump fake. This is my thing about that. You're looking for Kawhi Leonard. I'll say this. That's also a growth type of thing. Throwing off guys, eyes, head. Like that's what we're looking for in year two for Kenny Pickett. Like you're talking about the small detail veteran type of things that guys do. That's a year two, year three, looking off defenders, being able to pump fake to your point. I don't think the hand size matters right there, DK.
I don't know. Here, see, I think it's easy for you to say because as James points out below, nobody did it like the quarterback behind you. There's a lot of different things that are going to be said about Ben Roethlisberger when he has his day in Canton, and I have a feeling that's going to come up not quite as much as the whole slippery, everybody falls off of him stuff from earlier in his career.
Yeah.
But having that big quarterback who does this, and his pump fake wasn't this.
No.
Okay, it was the whole. I mean, you had everybody in the crowd was moving toward the ball.
Now let's say this too: that play fake also came with a lot of pressure, probably hits. When I get 7 on, I'll be sure y'all bring that up if I don't remember. Ask him if he could go back those amounts of holding on to the ball. Would he have gotten rid of it a little bit sooner? Because Ben had he had just unregistered amount of trust in his O-line and his ability to get out of sacks that it kind of, probably hindered him with the hits and stuff like that came along with that. So be careful what you're asking for.
Yeah, there's that too. You can become basically a free hit.
Yeah, you can.
For somebody here. Hand over fist, needless to say, jumps in with hand size always matters. See, now we know how hand over fist came up with their very clever name here. Aquatic Life says it looks like Kenny will have to carry more of the passing load than Ben did the first few years. Ben wasn't asked to throw a lot, but when he did throw, he was expected to complete the pass. I don't know about that. I mean, you have seen this offense when it's effective, not great,
right?
Not even necessarily very good, but you've seen it when it's effective, and that's almost always been when the running game got going. I don't feel like Kenny was the one who got it going.
No, and this is the thing, too. Look what Ben had. They had a very veteran offensive line. That was the old NFL where run first was a big identity. Today's offense, man, unless you're not a Matt Canada fan, is you got to pass the ball to move the ball down the field a little bit. I honestly think that it's the new NFL that we're in as far as passing goes, and not a Kenny is doing more than Ben was in those type of situations. Today's NFL has changed. What would you say most first and foremost, DK, is more of a passing league or running league at this point?
I think it's still a passing league.
Yeah,
very much so.
But the run is important.
The run has been making a little bit of a comeback to the point where it's now not considered weird when you run more than 20 times in a game. I think you can thank your arch rivals for that. The Ravens came in and said, "Wait a second, nobody's doing this. Nobody." Hey, guess what?
Watch this.
Yeah, here we come to blow up the party. Great foresight on their part. I love when teams do stuff like that in any sport. Ryan Maxwell says, Hey, Moan, what do you think of the trade rumors? Okay, Moan, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
People, don't. It costs $8 to get a check mark now on Twitter. Anybody can do it. Look at the account where you read that. Okay?
Yeah.
Please stop falling for this stuff. It was something called Chicago_NFL. Some dude just made an account and put something on there, and it's like, come on.
I'll say this about Jalen Carter real quick. I love the prospect. I do. He's young, just like a bunch of those Georgia guys. I tell you time and time again, like they grow up fast, but they grow up young too. The maturity aspect is always in question, right, DK? But if he's at 9 and you think you may be able to get him, you got to ask yourself, are you willing to give up another first rounder the same way you did with Minka to build? If you ain't got to give up a first, okay, if you ain't got to give up a first for a guy like him to move up to 9, then I say, yeah, take that shot, because what have I said this offseason? I like the idea that we can go get a very talented D tackle to assist with Cam and everybody else on that front four. That is a very dangerous young man. I personally saw him a lot this year abuse offensive linemen. And if you're asking me, I say this. He's a Steeler type. That's for doggone sure.
Eric Santillani says, hey, Moan, Omar Khan really isn't dodging the trading up questions, and he really seems like they like somebody up higher in this draft. And I'm sold that he does trade up, but for who? Before you answer Eric's actual question, Kevin Colbert for a million years said, we'll consider all options in trading up. We'll consider all options in trading down. All Omar did was go to the KC school of how to answer that specific question. So don't read too much into it.
What I would tell you is treat the draft like you treat your kids. Think of every scenario that they will have when they go out in the public. That's what they're doing right now. Omar, I believe him. I do, because if there's somebody there and you can get it for a very good price, take it. But I don't know if there's a guy you're willing to, DK, to just go, because this is the thing. We have drafted well as an organization, being draft picks 15 all the way back to 32. Right, DK? It ain't many misses when you look at what the Steelers have done as far as vetting talent to get them to be productive pros. I don't think it'd be an issue or maybe even necessary to get that. Again, I see somebody say Devin White. Well, think about the Devin Bush thing. Sometimes that trade up ain't worth the squeeze sometime.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna trade up, you gotta bat 1,000 on that.
You better.
Okay? And that's the way I feel about it. And I understand that at the time that the Steelers made the move to go get Bush, they felt justified, or they tried to use this as a justification that all they gave up were the 2 picks that they had just gotten for AB. Okay, but you still had them.
Come on.
Yeah. These weren't free. You gave up the greatest wide receiver your team's ever had. I know what the circumstances were. But
that's
seriously.
That's I was going to, like Brent Frazee, like there are some misses. And that's why I'm saying if you're wanting to move up to be in that top 10 or from 17 to 9, you bet not miss. What did Omar from The Wire say? Anytime you come for the king, you bet not miss. You going for a top 10. Here. You bet not miss, man.
412 says, I've read that we're moving up to number 1 overall. Thoughts? Now, come on. He's kidding. See, look at the look. You missed the emoji, Moan.
I did.
He got it from something called @Chicago_NFL. And it had the whole Steelers Nation buzzing for it. It's just like you're just throwing bait into the water and seeing how many people bite on it.
Great avatar picture too. That's Juju standing over Burfict right there. Jeez, that was a different. Yeah, you were trolling right there. Okay, Brent.
He got you. Jeff wants to know, and we got this early in the show, but it's live. Yeah, hey, Moan, is the cutting of Jameer Jones actually no? The other one was about the number. That was kind of silly. Is the cutting of Jameer Jones the prelude to Bud 2.0?
I'm with y'all in that same boat. Bud has the luxury of signing whenever he wants to right now. And I told you before, and it was documented, he had a couple hip issues here in Tennessee. I think he's mostly healthy. We have chatted some, but Bud doesn't have to until the time is right. This is the thing. Whatever he's going to get paid is only going to count during the season anyway. So why would he come in for almost any club and do all of the offseason when he can just train at home and not have any obligation to get in real strong condition form at that point.
Did you know it's 4-1-2 day?
I did know it's 4-1-2 day.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
Cool. For anybody who's never been to Pittsburgh, and I know a lot of Steelers fans who haven't, people who can't even find Pittsburgh on a map, the 412 has been our area code forever. So whenever we get to April 12th, it's, it's 412 day.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. 412 day.
That's
man.
all I got on that subject.
Oh, no. It's a social media thing, and I'm here for it, man. Happy 412, you crazies, man, because we all about Pittsburgh here.
Awakened Judah says Devin White has demanded to be traded. Moan, would you be willing to go get him?
I told you I would. Yeah, I would. I like him. I like him a lot.
There's not a lot I wouldn't give up for him.
That's what I'm saying. Listen to me. I know Coach T likes him. That young man is a football player, a football lover. But this is the thing. We just got to a point of being in cap grace. You get him, you're going to have to pay his 11 this year on top of probably extend them out. And all of that's possible because the cap's going up a little bit next year. But you look at what you're getting yourself into. He's to me, who's the Rowan Smith from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That's the equivalent of the trade right there I look into for him because Tampa's already been on the
you're talking about
Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Tampa's already been playing hardball by saying, don't ask us about him. Which means you better pay. Yeah.
The way they worded that.
Oh, yeah.
We are absolutely not trading him.
And I'll tell you this.
They don't want to put themselves into that position.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this. Everybody got a price. Now, it's a matter of what you're willing to give up for him. That's a Roquan Smith type of trade. Like you get a guy for years if you trade for him.
Yeah, the only difference is you're not dealing with the Bears this time. Chase says, hey, Moan, we've heard stories of how Minkah stood on the table for the Steelers to draft Jalen Hurts. We have?
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit earlier too, DK.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
same thing. Yeah, I told you that. I love how that type of stuff right there gets called out. Like nobody know if that's true or not. Minkah's a very reserved player. They probably asked him the same way they asked me, Moan, what you think about him? And he probably had a strong sell for him, but I can't see Minkah just jumping on the table for that one.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, is if you're a football executive and you're going to trust the person that you're asking, okay? Like you said, they've asked you questions, okay?
Yeah.
But doesn't a part of them also have to understand, listen, there's going to be an inherent bias, even if they say that there isn't. Not just, I'm not saying that, he's such a big Tennessee backer.
Right.
He's wearing orange all the time. I'm saying that they would look at you and say, you've seen more of that player than you have of other players. So you're going to have or you might even know him or have gotten to meet him or whatever. And you're going to have a natural tilt toward that player.
Yeah. And that's the guy, it's Darnell Wright, like him. Like
that's actually who I had in mind.
Yeah. Darnell Wright. Like they asked me about him. I had to be honest. And that's the thing. If you're going to vouch for someone, you better be 100% correct. And that means a lot to that front office on that type of situation. Minkah jumping on the table for him, he probably had a strong opinion about him, but I doubt that be the case, though.
Has everyone hit the like button yet? Have you done that?
I did it earlier. No, did I log on to YouTube to go do that, DK? I'm a bad show host, man.
Here's the thing. Like, we need you to hit the like button.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Before
DK.
we even get to the next question, like you got to do it like right now.
I'm about to go right now. I feel the pressure, DK. We're live.
What you're doing. Just hit the like
us
button.
Right there.
See how non-entertaining this is?
Yeah, oh, no, we're very entertaining, man.
No, but this part right here is non-entertaining. Like this part is boring. We can make it interesting again if everyone hits. No, we need more than that. Just a couple more. Come on.
You
can do that. All right, Marv just jumped in. We're all right with Marv jumping in. We can do that here. Gino says hit the like or hit the door. We're all right with that. That's
dang.
That's an attitude that we can definitely appreciate.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Sauce says, hey, Moan, with the news of Saquon Barkley and others not signing their franchise tag and avoiding OTAs, how important do you think OTAs are for players like him?
Same offense, nothing changes for him. And this is the thing. Saquon saying he's not signing it, he probably didn't want to show up anyway. Like if he signed it still, then that
Please
means
tell everybody how this works.
He's locked in.
Please,
Like
please.
he's a seasoned vet. The OTAs don't matter to him. They rather see him with his quads come in at minicamp and be okay. Like there is nothing that he's losing by not showing up. He loses no money. He loses no sleep. The coaches know how good he is. Okay. So there's no sweat off his back. What will happen though, if he's not signed or he play hardball by camp, then that contract starts to subtract a little bit because now with the way the CBA was structured a little bit, there are hold ends, i.e. you remember TJ Watt? Like you can sign it in hopes of getting a deal done.
Minka did it too. You just kind of stand on the sidelines.
So, yeah, he has no incentive to come in early right now. He better go enjoy the offseason. That's just a slow news week for the NFL for Saquon to say that.
We're going to take a couple more today. Al comes in with, hey, Moan, whenever you played a Thursday game right after a Sunday game, how was it prepping for each team? I don't think Al's asking about the whole physical thing that we talk about a lot. He's talking about the actual preparation for that opponent. How does that happen?
Man, it's interesting for those Thursday night prep games because you play Sunday, Monday is an off day, still Tuesday. You get right back into it inside of the building. But I'll tell you this, it's very simple. You go to whatever the simple things they've done throughout the week or the weeks before you play them on Thursday night and you say, that's what we're going to do. Or on the other end, you control what they're going to do by your game plan. Hey, we're only going to run this way, that way, and throw right here. All the things we work in at camp that may be a trick player too, we're not doing those types of things because if we get crazy out there, the defense get crazy. It is very simple in those Thursday night games, which is probably why the scores are down a little bit too, DK, because it's not a whole lot of prep. You kiss. Keep it simple, silly, during those weeks, okay?
I thought it was stupid, not silly.
I didn't want to call people stupid today. It's hump day, right?
Polly breaks all the rules and says, hey, Dolly, instead of either of us. Any word about this Ramon Foster Show merchandise?
Hey, everybody at this network plays a role, Dolly.
Yeah, everybody's playing a role. They're calling you out here on the show.
Yeah. Tell that man, crazy.
See, look at this. She wants no part of this discussion.
That's crazy.
Because you know why? Because she's the one that has to do all the shipping.
And she's only drank a quarter of her water, too, DK. She's slacking.
I need you guys to be a little more popular for that.
Oh, she needs us to be more popular in order for that to happen.
That's a burn.
Well, no, it's not. I think it's a challenge because we have to sit here and ask for likes and people to subscribe to the channel. If we got what's a fair number? What's a fair number that we can say we want to get the channel to 30,000 subscribers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Every show has to have 10,000 views for 5 in a row.
So that's back on y'all. You
So
brought this on yourself.
You guys think we're exaggerating when you don't these likes, you don't do them for vanity or look at our number of likes.
No.
The reason you do it is because YouTube recognizes it and it goes through this algorithm and it just gets shown to more people. But if you don't do it, then there's no merch for Paulie.
Paul, you brought this on yourself, man. Now you brought the other side of Dolly out, man. Goodness gracious, dog.
Who's got the last one here?
I got it.
Go ahead.
I just started, DK. It's right here, man, from our guy Theo. I think this is a good one because we're about to hit draft season. And it goes, hey, Mona.
Oh, so good.
Did you know AB was going to be AB in his rookie season? The answer to that is yeah. Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
What?
The tenacity. I talked to AB a lot that year. AB had the drive.
You've never told me this.
Oh, my gosh. AB will tell you that. Those conversations we had a lot when he got benched for Emmanuel Sanders and AB was ticked off and he was on Bruce Arians' doghouse side. AB wanted it. He wanted every bit of it. AB, it was interesting to watch him kind of unfold over the years because everything that he said he wanted to do, he actually did. He was ticked off beyond livid that he couldn't get on the field. So given that opportunity in that late in the season game, that helmet catch and everything, you knew it. His work ethic was through the roof. And I told you before, Coach T called him a better worker than he was talent, right? That's how you know it.
Nobody outworked him.
Ever.
I guess the only reason I'm expressing any surprise is not like we didn't see what he was capable of doing, was that he was limited in large to special teams early on. Now we could feel the electricity. Okay.
Yeah.
When it came to special teams, as soon as the ball came down out of the sky, you were like this. Okay. Yeah. Right. You're ready for whatever it was that was coming. But man, for everything that he became.
Yeah.
As a wide receiver, and I almost hate like separating him from Ben. Did you know what I'm talking about? Like,
I'm with you.
You know, it's like, I mean, here's what I hope for AB, because now we're getting a lot of AB questions about CTE and everything else here. Here's how I feel. I hope that some point that there's a reconciliation, as we've seen so often in Steelers history with various guys, including from the 70s, that they come in and they make an effort to bring AB back into the fold, presuming he doesn't, go off the reservation again, or presuming something isn't proven that he already did. I should make that
right.
Okay, that gets him in jail or whatever, and that can't be ruled out with him. If that were to happen, I'd like to see one of those settings in Canton, Moan.
Yeah, because he's gone, I think. They might stall him out, but he got the numbers and the accolades to get there, DK.
He's the best player at his position, which is usually for a period of time, which is usually the chief criteria.
Mm-hmm.
And, Steel City's right here where he says AB's burned a lot of bridges. That actually shouldn't matter for Canton purposes.
But the human aspect does matter. You know that. The voters.
It does. I mean, I'd like to think that the writers and the people that are involved aren't anywhere near that affected by it. I've voted in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I've voted for people I can't stand. It just doesn't matter.
But you couldn't deny the talent.
Couldn't deny the talent. It's as simple as that. But I'd like to see what I was referring to is I'd like to see Ben in his speech just be able to look out in the crowd. You know what I'm talking about, the way Troy does. And he would see Franco and everybody, Mean Joe and everybody else. He would see them out there and he would say, remember Troy's speech?
Yeah.
And you're just all goosebumpy because they're out there in their yellow jackets and everything else here, and just say, hey, that guy was a big part of, and Jerome had his fullbacks there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is what I'll say about AB. The fact that AB's been out of the scene for a little while, I'm hoping we get the old him back. I had somebody recently ask me about AB, and I'll say this. Anytime I've reached out to him on Instagram, I know guys change their number all the time. He always hits me back. Getting him on the show, I want the AB that I want. I want Antonio, okay? I want him. You feel me? I don't want Tony, none of those mantras that he had before him, okay? Or
Tony
after.
Toe Taps.
Tony Toe Tap, Himothy, all those. We'll get him when AB's good with himself. And I'll tell you this, he's always been good with me. Y'all know I've said that all the time. Myself, Pounce, and him have always kind of had this little trio of having good communication. So we'll see if we can do that. It may not be a solo AB show. Might have to be me, Pounce, and him, or me, Gil, and him. It'll have to be a network of things. But I'm going to probably hop in this inbox now just to say what up, check on them, because that's what you're supposed to do. And that's how a lot of guys crash out in their careers too, because they get off the field and then people leave them alone. And I hope AB don't feel that, although he's got the Hollywood side of everything now. You're Mr. Big Chest and everything.
You can't beat Mr. out of all of them, Mr. Big Chest.
For a while. Hey, wasn't much he couldn't run through, man.
Mr. Big Chest indeed. Hey, everybody, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. We appreciate if after the show you go to the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers channel and hit the subscribe. Get us up there. We'll get the merch out. I think we have an idea of actually what it can be like. We're playing with you a little bit here.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Any final thoughts, Moan?
Hey, enjoy the rest of the week. Be good to one another, man. I say rest of the week, rest of this day. We'll be back tomorrow, right? Ronald Ocean was another. I'm still seeing comments coming.
Ocean, call me Ronald. He turned around and said to a bunch of us, yeah, how stupid we felt. No, nobody did it. Nobody did it. Okay, but it was just like.
That was a good era, though, man, when he was on that type of stuff. We were winning big, DK.
This is true. 30 points a game. Let's do it again tomorrow.
No doubt about it. is yours.